Hello and welcome to a new video series on ArchiMate for architecture modeling in alignment with the TOGAF architecture development method. I am Mustafa Mahrous, IT architecture consultant based in Germany, and I am a certified myself in a TOGAF certified architecture practitioner, TOGAF certified architecture practitioner leader, ArchiMate design language modeling practitioner, SACOP IPM certified architect, and along with many different certifications in Azure and Mongo database. Besides that, furthermore, I have more than 15 years of experience as a software engineer and following with my next career step as an enterprise architect. I have been doing this since the year 2006 and I have gained a lot of experiences in different projects with big companies and in many challenging startups and also scalable products that are used in production by large consumer and customer bases. I hope in this course I will introduce to you the concepts and the tools to enable you as an enterprise architect yourself or someone who is willing to take the next step in his career as an enterprise architect to set your feet on the step where you can use ArchiMate for architecture modeling and make sense of the dry concepts introduced in the certification materials. This is to show you that certification is not only about gaining the knowledge for theory that you are not going to use in practice, but I will be bringing to you examples and use cases from my own personal experiences along that you can apply in your daily work and have it in your toolset as enterprise architects. In today's session, I will dive deeper. Here's my Credly certification page. I will dive deeper to the ones issued by Open Group. So you can see these are the Open Group certifications that I have completed myself. I will give you a quick introduction before we start with the topic ArchiMate specifically, an overview, high-level overview of the available certifications that I have personally completed as well. So, lifelong learning risk analysis explained. This is an online course from the Open Group Cloud. They have a Moodle Cloud where you can book some of the courses, learn materials, and complete them. And upon completion, you go through a test, a quiz with multiple choice questions to test your understanding of the material. And this one I would highly recommend because risk analysis, how to identify the risk, how to identify the magnitude and the frequency of the risk, how to plan your mitigation plans in case of risk. These are all essential tools for enterprise architects. Second one is a professional certification level 1 certified architect. This one is a certification bound with expiry date of 3 years and it is related to the milestone open certified architect, and this one is one of the badges that you have to complete in a bundle of 5 badges so that you get the open certified architect level 1. The next one is the same, but the difference is that the first one is about communication and the second one is about development. So you showcase to the architects of the Open Group that you have completed architecture projects and you have done a lot, not a lot, but specific cases that you are presenting in your application, that you have presented solution options with pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. You have been through the process of trade-off analysis methods and you have been able to align the stakeholders on one vision that will be implemented at the end of the architecture work package. The second badge is the Applied Architecture Practitioner. This is the TOGAF Certified Enterprise Architect. This you complete in a set of 2 exams. You have the foundation level exam and the practitioner level exam, which is more comprehensive and more practice oriented, in that you need to complete 8 use cases with one wrong answer and 3 graded answers. The one that's the strongly correct answer is rated with 5 points, next one 3 points, and the last one with 1 point. And this is very challenging because one difference in the wording or in the use case makes a huge difference in the decision that you make as an architect or architecture practitioner. So I would say this was a very valuable experience to make and to go through the knowledge and apply it to real use cases, real time scenarios. The next one is the ArchiMate 3 practitioner, and I would recommend here and highlight at the time of the recording the ArchiMate 4 specification has been released. So if you are planning to take the ArchiMate practitioner certification, I would recommend to go directly for the most recent version, ArchiMate version 4. ArchiMate is the complementary part to the TOGAF practitioner in that it gives you a standard annotation for architecture modeling. You can model the architecture in different stages of the architecture development method ADM of TOGAF, from the preliminary phase, the architecture vision, establishing the architecture capability, going through the business architecture, the application and data architecture, the technology and physical infrastructure architecture, pathing through the implementation and migration planning. This all is covered with tools and annotations and a very rich palette available to you in ArchiMate and the open source Archi tool. This is the topic of this course that we will dive very deeply into the details and go together through real use case scenarios that can illustrate these concepts and bring it closer to you. The next one is one of the not very highly valued certifications. It's an optional certification, but personally I find it very insightful. The TOGAF Business Architecture Foundation. It's complementary to the TOGAF Enterprise Architecture Foundation exam. I've done it separately and I've studied the material, and I found it very useful to find a common vocabulary in terms of organization maps, value streams, and many different business modeling tools and techniques that you can use to communicate with business and other stakeholders, partners in your organizations or in the same enterprise or in different teams. This is all valuable knowledge that have accumulated and gained through this process, and I would very highly recommend it for the sake of gaining the knowledge. The second one here is the Enterprise Architecture Leader. This is also one of the TOGAF offering. It is based on completing the TOGAF Architecture Foundation or Practitioner. So it has this requirement that you've completed one of the 2 certifications before. And then this is about how can you perform as an enterprise architecture leader. If you move to an organization, startup, small or medium enterprise, and they assign you the task of establishing the architecture capability, how are you going to do? What is your action plan? What are the necessary steps, the checkpoints, the checklist that you need to cover as an architecture leader to establish the architecture capability in this new organization? How are you going to organize and structure the architecture team? These are all very important aspects and learnings that you need to consider, and this I found valuable. You can complete the learning material on the Moodle Cloud of the Open Group and then pass a very comprehensive MCQ exam, and if you pass it successfully, then you get the badge and the certification as well. The last one is Open Certified Architecture TOGAF Enterprise Architecture Practitioner, and again I got 2 badges because one of them relevant to passing the exam and the other one is relevant to attending a training specific for the applied practitioner. So I have 2 of them. I hope these have given you a quite comprehensive and high level idea of the different certifications available in the open group ecosystem and the TOGAF and its relation to each other. In the rest of this video series and sessions, I will introduce the ArchiMate and align it as much as possible to the ADM, TOGAF ADM concepts, principles, and definitions, so that you are aware of how to apply these very dry, very abstract concepts in practice. I hope this was very convincing for you enough to stay tuned and stay on the course and complete it to the end. I hope you find it useful and apply it in practice as well in your daily job as an enterprise architect. Thank you and see you in the next sessions.